Do you ever find yourself sharing something that happened in your day, but without ever using the word I? Hi, I'm Davida from The Well of Being. Thank you for joining me on my journey towards greater clarity and connection with courage. Sometimes I notice myself sharing something that I'm feeling, but I'm saying you instead of I. Today I want to talk about embodying our experiences in the telling. I'll give you an example. I was sharing some of my videos with a friend of mine, and you know how when you hear your voice on a voice message or in a recording and it sounds really foreign to you, and it's like suddenly you start judging yourself, like you sound fake, you sound like, what is that expression, what is she saying? And you get really self-conscious, and maybe you even just want to turn it off, and you're like, I'm not listening to that right now. So I felt like that. I don't know if that sounded normal or not, but you might have noticed that the moment I started talking about feelings, I took myself out of it and I started saying you as the subject of the sentence. And I was describing something to you, so that makes sense. But as an experience of telling, I really took myself out of my own experience. So let me say that same thing again, but with I. The other day, I was showing a friend of mine some videos that I'm making. And when I saw myself and I heard my own voice, I felt really self-conscious and I started judging myself, that I'm fake and that I'm putting something on and I'm, I don't know, putting myself up on some kind of pedestal, like I know something. And I really needed to take some space and breathe through that and do a stand up straight with your shoulders back moment in order to remind myself that this is something that is important to me and I want to share and put out in the world, and that is totally legit. So for me, talking to a friend about something that I'm feeling is an opportunity to come closer and to be real and to make our friendship a little bit deeper and tighter. And I find that if I stick with I statements, instead of saying you, even when we both know that by you I mean myself, it makes the sharing more real and it feels more vulnerable. It's even a little bit scary sometimes that I'm being very raw with my experience. Like I'm saying, I felt these very intense feelings, or I had these judgments about myself that are kind of ugly or revealing a part of myself that might be easier left alone. It really shows up and it makes a difference in our friendship, and it becomes an invitation for the other person to respond to me in a way that recognizes that this is my experience is my own. But the moment I put you in the story, then you might say, well, no, I don't feel that way at all. Actually, I love being on stage and I enjoy hearing the sound of my own voice, or whatever it might be. So I think that we do this as a way of protecting ourselves and getting some safety from that vulnerability. If connection is a value for me and sharing with a friend is an opportunity to deepen that connection, then it's worth my while to allow myself to be a little bit more vulnerable. So I'm going to make an effort to embody myself in the experiences that I'm sharing, and to allow my words to be a little bit more raw and a bit more direct, or maybe a lot more direct. And let that be an invitation to whoever I'm speaking with to be closer and respond in kind and be real with me about what's really going on with them. So I'd like to set this up as an intention for myself, and I really invite you to join me. I think that this actually has broader implications than simply sharing something that happened or how I'm feeling. If I say love you, then it really feels different than if I say I love you and putting sort of myself solidly behind that statement. Or miss you. I really miss you. It feels different. Thanks for being an opportunity for me to be a little bit more vulnerable and real. Subscribe to my channel right up there for more personal growth moments.